Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to see if you can do this one on your own, and then we'll go over it. Since I don't have just one fraction equal to one fraction, I have to find the common denominator. So make a list of your denominators. Got a minus 3 and a plus 3. This other denominator is 1. I don't have to write it down. If it's anything besides 1, I have to write it down, but since it's just a positive 1, I don't need to write it down. If it's in my list, it has to be in the denominator. So here, a minus 3 is there. So my common denominator has a minus 3 in it. A plus 3. Is a plus 3 already written down? No, so I have to add it. So my common denominator is a minus 3, a plus 3. So then I'm going to take each term and multiply it by a plus 3, a minus 3. Then I want to see what can cancel out. In the first one, the a minus 3's will cancel out. So I've got 2a minus 3 times a plus 3. Here I've got negative 2 times. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out because I know what it is really quick, because it's the reverse of a difference of squares. So it's going to be a squared minus 9 equals a plus 3 cancels. And I can go ahead and distribute that because it's easy. 12a minus 36. Then you go through and pull these out and distribute. So 2a times a is 3a squared. 2a times 3 is positive 6a. Negative 3 times a is negative 3a. And negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Negative 2 times a squared is negative 2a squared. Negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18. And that's equal to 12a minus 36. Go through and combine your like terms now. This should be 2a squared. 2a times a squared is just 2a squared. Okay, so from here, combine like terms. There's a 2a squared here and a negative 2a squared here. Since they're all on the same side of the equal sign, they're just going to go away. Alright, then I've got 6a minus 3a, which is 3a. Then I've got negative 9 plus 18, so that's going to give me a positive 9. So I've used all of those on that side. That's equal to 12a minus 36. I don't have an a squared anywhere, do I? No, so I just need to get the a's to one side and my numbers to the other. This is 45 is equal to 9a divided by 9. And a is equal to 6. No, I mean 5, sorry. A is equal to 5. I've got to plug it in and make sure. So I've got to plug it into the original problem. So that's, I want to check it over here. That's 2 times 5 minus 3 over 5 minus 3 minus 2 is equal to 12 over 5 plus 3. So that's 10 minus 3 over 5 minus 3 minus 2 is equal to 12 over 5 plus 12 over 8. So that's 7 over 2 minus 2 is equal to 12 over 8. What have I got to do to subtract
Then you find the
denominator? Alright, if I need to change 2 to something over 2. So if I multiply this by 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top, that's 4 over 2. So 12 over 8 is equal to 7 minus 4 is 3 over 2. 12 over 8. Well, what have I got to do with this?
simplify.
I need to simplify. I can divide 12 by 4. I can divide 8 by 4. So that's 3 over 2 is equal to 3 over 2. So it works. So A is equal to 5. So what's my extraneous solutions? None. What if you have to do first here? Square both sides. So 5n is equal to n squared. Then I can move 5n over. So what's our first step when we try to factor something? Yeah, I can pull an n out, so that's n times n minus 5. So I need to set n equal to 0 because it is still a variable. And I need to set n minus 5 equal to 0. So n equals 0, n's already by itself. All I have to do is add 5 here. So n is equal to 5 and n is equal to 0. All I have to do is go back and check. So I want to check n equals 0. That's the square root of 5 times 0 is equal to 0. Alright, so that's 0 is equal to 0, so that one works. And then I want to check n is equal to 5. Square root of 5 times 5 is equal to 5. So that's the square root of 25 is equal to 5. So that works. So both of these are solutions. What are my extraneous ones? None. Have to square both sides. So that gives me 28 minus 3n is equal to n squared. Because when you square the square root, it just goes away. Then I need to move everything over to one side. Zero is equal to n squared. Doesn't really look like an n. N squared minus 3n minus 28.
So isn't that a plus 3 then?
Plus 3n. Sorry. And then, can we pull anything out? Well, I have an n in two terms, but there's no n with the 28, so I can't pull it out. So then we multiply a times c, which is negative 28, and positive 3. I need factors of 28. Since a times c is negative, I'm going to be subtracting the middle two terms. So I need to subtract these factors. 1 minus 28 is 27. That gives me 12. 4 minus 7 does give me 3. But which one needs to be negative 4? Because that'll give me a positive 3. I want these two numbers to equal 3. Positive 3. What is a? A is 1, so I need 1 over negative 4 and 1 over 7. So then, can I simplify either of those fractions? No. So I got 0 is equal to x minus 4 and x plus 7. So x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 7 equals 0. Excuse me, plus 4, minus 7, minus 7. So x is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 7. Then what do you have to do? I've got to check these. So that's the square root of 28 minus 3 times negative 7 equals negative 7. So if I do, so that's going to give me the square root of 28 plus 21 is equal to negative 7. So that's 28 plus, that's the square root of 49 equals negative 7. Square root of 49 is 7. Is that equal to negative 7? No. So negative 7 doesn't work. We check the 4, so that's the square root of 28 minus 12 is equal to 4. The square root of 16 is equal to 4. And that is true. So, my solution is x equals 4, and the extraneous solution is x equals negative 7. I guess while I'm thinking about this, it may make a big difference. Your professor in college may pitch a big fit about it, but on the ACT it's not going to matter. I used x's when I solved these. These should really be n's everywhere. I wouldn't go back and change them on your paper unless you just want to. But those should all be n's. I probably did it. Alright, that's the only one we've done. They should be n's, but I didn't think about that. I'm going to move the 4 over here first. So that gives me the square root of negative 3x plus 10 is equal to x minus 4. Now I can square both sides. So that gives me negative 3x plus 10 is equal to x squared minus 8x plus 16. 10, not 0. Alright, so then I can add 3x, subtract 10, add 3x, subtract 10. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 6. Can I pull anything out of this? No. So I need to factor it. So that's 6 and negative 5. Signs are going to be the same. So this gives me 7, so that doesn't work. So I need 2 and 3. And they're both going to be negative, because negative 2 plus negative 3 gives me negative 5. A is what? 1. So that's 1 over negative 2, 1 over negative 3. So my parentheses are x minus 2 and x minus 3. So x minus 2 equals 0, x minus 3 equals 0. So x equals 2 and x equals 3. Then you have to go back and check. So So that's 4 plus the square root of 3, negative 3 times 2 plus 10 is equal to 2. So that's 4 plus the square root of negative 6 plus 10 is equal to 2. 4 plus the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So that's 4 plus 2 is equal to 2. So is that right? Is that what y'all got? That's not right. No check mark. So then we got to check 3. 4 plus the square root of negative 3 times 3 plus 10 is equal to 2. 3. Yeah, you're right. So 4 plus the square root of negative 3, or negative 3 times 3 is 9, plus 10 is equal to 3. 4 plus the square root of 1 is equal to 3. So the square root of 1 is 1, so 4 plus 1 is 5 is equal to 3. Does that work? So this one has no solutions, and extraneous solutions are x equals 2 and x equals 3. We can square both sides right off the bat. So that gives me negative 3x squared plus 17x plus 16 is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 4. And just as a reminder, this part is really x plus 2 times x plus 2. So then I can move everything over. So that's plus 3x squared minus 17x minus 16. So 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 13x minus 12. Can I factor anything out? No, so I need to factor. A times C is negative 48. B is negative 13. So I need all the factors of 48. 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 4 and 12, and 6 and 8. So signs are going to be different because this one's negative. So I need to see which two I can subtract to get 13. It's not that one, it's not that one, but it's these two. So 3 and 16, which one needs to be negative? The 16. What is A? 4. So that goes on top of both fractions. 3 goes under one, 16 goes under the other. So simplify. I can't simplify 4 over 3, but I can simplify 4 and negative 16. So it's 4 goes in there once, 4 goes in there 4 times. So my two parentheses are 4x plus 3 times x minus 4. So that's 4x plus 3 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. So that's minus 3. So x is equal to negative 3/4, and x is equal to positive 4. Then this is the part where most of you will have a hard time, and that's plugging the fraction back in to see if it works. So plugging the fraction back in. Square root of negative 3 to the negative 3/4 squared plus 17 times negative 3/4 plus 16 is equal to negative 3 over 4 plus 2. So that's the square root of negative 3. Now squaring fraction. Oh man. When we square fractions. Alright, I square the top, it gives me 9. Square the bottom, gives me 16. Plus 17 times 3 is negative 51 over 4 plus 16 equals, I can go ahead and add these. I can change the negative 3 over 4 to an 8 over 4 and add those, so that gives me 5 over 4 is equal to, I gotta find the common denominator for all of this. I can go ahead and multiply. That's negative 27 over 16 plus negative 51 over 4 plus 16. Looks like my common denominator is going to be 16. So that's going to be the square root of negative 27 over 16 plus negative 51 times 4 will be 204, negative 204 over 4 over 16 plus 16 times 16 is 256 over 16 is equal to 5 over 4. Since these are both negative here, I can combine them, so it gives me negative 221 over 16 plus 256 over 16 is equal to 5 over 4. So it gives me a square root of, if you combine those, it gives you 25 over 16 equals 5 over 4. Square root of 25 over the square root of 16. So that's 5 over 4 is equal to 5 over 4. So that one works. So that one works.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I have to check 4 now. Alright, so that gives me square root of negative 3 times 16 plus 17 times 4 is 51 plus 17, 68 plus 16 equals 6. So that's going to give me negative 48 plus 68 plus 16 is equal to 6. That gives me 20
I'm pretty much in love with this one.
plus 16 is equal to 6. So that's the square root of 36 is equal to 6. So 6 is equal to 6. So they both work. So both are solutions, and my extraneous are none.
She want to paint her a necklace or charm herself? You could get her started training.